Good morning. This is not the Xavier's Treat Station. I'm just doing my video that I have not done in 7 days. So good morning. I'm Felice Down Harper. Welcome to our channel. This is Xavier Treats and Us. This is our adoption journey. And I popped over here before I go live on Xavier's Treats on Facebook. So if you have time, go on over to Xavier's Treats, find our page, like it, share it. I'm coming to talk about day 8 through 15 has been horrible. So actually today is going to be like day 1 again, but I had to come on because I was trying to be transparent about my journey, and I fell off the wagon and I stayed off the wagon. So I got on the scale today, and what I lost, I kind of put back on, not all of it, but some of it. So I'm not happy about that. So I got to do this again, but I'm going to start from scratch. So even though this is day 16, it's going to be day 1 again. So I ate horribly. I love the Boom Chicka Boom popcorn. Ooh, I go to Sam's Club and get the big purple bag, and so I'm on my second bag. I bought a big bag of veggie straws, the big one at Sam's Club, and I cracked that open watching movies last night. And I was like, this is it. And so things I've learned is that I buy too much food and I buy junk food for the kids and I start eating it. So that's not good. So, and then I hide it in my room, but subconsciously I know it's in my room. So I start eating it. So this is something that I cannot do any longer. So I'm prepping right now because I'm going to make some food on my business channel, which is Xavier's Treats, where we cook and we bake and we talk. And, you know, it's a little community over there. It's not a big community, but it's a nice little community. So, yeah, so this weight loss journey, and it's not even a weight loss. I really should just put, because it has to be a change of life type thing. And maybe because I keep putting weight loss, like once I get to the weight I want to, then I can go back to eating. But I need to psychologically realize that it has to be a lifestyle. I know everything. I know the right things to do, the right foods to eat, and I still keep saying, "Oh, because I'm going through the change. This is why these things happen, because that is an excuse." You know, it's an excuse to I'm going to eat whatever I want to eat. So I have to let that go and just be honest with myself that this is going to be hard. And sometimes we don't like to deal with hard things, and we don't like to deal with change. It's ironic that I'm saying this because I had a conversation with someone I worked with, and she was talking about change, and it was for the negative, and I was like, listen, change is hard. So I'm shooting the words right back at myself today. Change is hard, and you have to get out of your comfort zone and doing the things that you normally do. So, in saying all of that, um, I'm not going to say today is day 16. Today is day 1 because I'm going to start over. I'm going to start over. And I'm going to get this thing right. Put some lemons up so I can put some lemons, you know, to keep the apples. So right now I have like 5 bags of apples. Even though I don't do this over here, I'm doing it right now. And excuse me because it is hot in here. I need to cut the heat down. Good for you. I need to bring my water because I have not eaten today. And that's okay. So I'm not turning the oven on until I need it. This house is hot. So I have continued to drink my gallon of water. So that I stayed. And for the most part, I stayed away from the meat. I had some shrimp, but that's not a meat. That's a seafood, right? But for the most part, I stayed away from the meat. And it's just junk food is my weakness. It's like my drug of choice, and that's what it is, right? It's a drug. And then again, I cook and I bake, and then I have it sitting here. So the cake, I baked the cake the other day. I've only had one slice of the cake. It's a cream cheese pound cake, and it's really good. But I bought these butter cookies, and this is the second container I brought into the house. And at first, I was doing so good, I wouldn't even touch them. I was like, no, I'm not going to eat any. And honey, the other day, I just broke down and I started eating those doggone cookies. And I was like, Lord have mercy. And I just keep eating and eating because they so good. I'm like, I got to get my life together. I really got to get my life together with this thing. And eating. I hope I just didn't take myself off. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me and see me. Whew, okay. I don't know. I was touching stuff. I'm not tech savvy yet, and I am sweating because I am not joking that it's hot in here. And I don't think it's me having a flash. It's just warm. But outside it is freezing. So yeah, so I kept saying I wasn't gonna beat myself up about this. And I have everything. But I realized things I've noticed. If I don't drink the smoothie the day I make it, I don't want it. So the smoothies I make have been really large smoothies. And I put them in the refrigerator, and I don't think the kids like them because I put the Irish sea moss in there, and then I put some bladderwhack. I put some different things in there to help clean you out. I don't think they like the taste of that, and so they won't drink it. So it just sits there. So it's just a waste of food. And I think I would rather just drink my tea in the morning and eat some fresh fruit. I think that will work better for me than the smoothie. It's just something I've just come to realize. And could you hit the thumbs up, whomever you are, because I see that you're here. And thank you for coming over. I don't know who you are, but thank you for coming over. Um, and share if you can. So that's where I'm at with this, but I am going to continue. And I think I stopped doing the videos because I was ashamed that I was eating. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just eating this junk. But this morning I woke up and I was like, nope, you're going to do a video and tell the truth and shame the devil. Maybe because it's Sunday, it's the Lord's Day. You got to confess your sins. So I just came on to say this is going to be day one again. I'm not going to say this is day 16 and I had all those days in between. And I'm going to keep going and say, oh, I made it through my 30 days. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. So we're going to start fresh from today. But just things I learned along the way. One thing I learned that I felt better. I had a lot of energy and I still have it. Just this weekend, I really just wanted to do nothing, and I found myself doing stuff, even though I said I didn't want to do anything. And yeah, so I have to learn about really taking on self care. Um, that is something I have to work on. Is me, because you give and give and give and give and give and give and give, and then you don't have anything left for you. And then you become resentful and angry at the people that you're giving and loving because you're giving everything to them and you are saving nothing for yourself. So that is an area I must work on. I'm going to cut up some lemons and I am going to squeeze the juice over these apples so that they won't turn brown. So that's where I am on this journey. And I'll be on tomorrow. We're going to start this all over again, see how it works out. But there is a space of happiness I am trying to achieve. And I know that this part is a part of it. So I'm gonna do it till I get it right. And so again, I just popped in to update y'all on what happened during my little weight loss journey. And I think from today on, so it will be my lifestyle change, changing my lifestyle. It can't just be it's a weight loss journey because I really have to change some things in my life. So, eat junk food is one of them because I can do right by food. It's my drug, and my drug is junk food. We all got our drug of choice. Some may be shopping, some may be smoking, some may be drinking, some may be sex. We all have our drug of choice. Some may be work or working out. That's a drug, right? Because you want those endorphins, you want to feel it, but everything we have to do with what modesty, not even modesty, but we're not supposed to overdo things. Sometimes we can overdo a lot of things, and I overdo eating that whole bag. Boom, chicka, boom. I gotta have the purple bag though. Of things. And you know what? I'm gonna have to stop myself when I go to Sam's or Costco and don't even go down that aisle where they are because when I see them, and some ain't no good for me at the store. You get your popcorn, I be like, sure am, sure am. And then when I get home, Deja got junk, right? So Deja will say, don't you want some? You know you want some. Come on, mommy. You want some. I'm like, it's the devil. But then she food police you on the other hand. So Deja is terrible. She'll reel you in and then talk about the fact that she got you. You see that? See how that works? So, yeah, just really, listen, and I know that you're supposed to stay present, and I was present while I was eating that stuff, and in my mind as I was eating, like, you shouldn't be eating this. And I was like, oh, it's so good though. It was the duality that was going on in my own head about what I was eating. That's a doggone shame. Excuse me one moment. So yeah, I be having the fight in my own head about uh, about what I'm eating. It's a doggone shame that I have to fight with myself. And that's what it is. It's a fight. It says a struggle. It's a struggle with the junk food. I didn't love it. Always have. I remember when I was little, there was a corner store when I attended Peshon because I graduated from Peshon. But even when I went to Hawthorne Avenue, used to have to walk up the hill, and it was the store. It was a store on the opposite corner of our house. We lived on one corner, and there was a store on the other corner. And then going up the hill, you passed a couple of corner stores, because back then, Black folks still owned stuff in the community, so they had their little businesses. And you can go with a quarter because I got allowance. I was a fortunate little kid. My mother gave me allowance. So I would get a quarter and a quarter for you can get. I'm trying to think. Did I do a quarter of 50 cents? Because I might have did 50 cents. Because back then, Bon-Ton potato chips was 15 cents. And then candy and cookies were a penny. And so if I didn't get the Bon-Ton potato chips, see, this is my love I've had forever with potato chips. I would get a bag of potato chips. So I think I took 50 cents as a quarter as opposed to a quarter. Because I would have candy and cookies and chips going to school in the morning. Mind you, I had breakfast at home. But I didn't eat it. It was like I had it for the day, like during lunch. Because back then we went outside for lunch, even if it was after you ate lunch. And you took your behind outside and you ran and you went and played in the playground. And then when I was over, then you went back to class. things our kids are missing today. They missing eating and then running that stuff off. And so, I remember up into the third grade when I came in for lunch, from lunch, we put our head down on the desk and we took a quick nap. The teacher would turn the lights off and you would put your head on your desk and you would take a nap for about 30 minutes and then they wake you up and then you commence back to the education process. That happened every day, but as I think after third grade, that no longer happened. I do remember Mr. Hooks in my eighth grade. He was an ex-military man. He was straight crazy. He would walk over the desk and pop us with rulers. That's when your teachers can tear your behind up in school. And you better not go home and tell your parents that your teacher had to pop you, because then you can get behind go up. Hit you. So you kept that crap to yourself. And during lunch, man, I would be passing out bubble gum to my friends because they may not got allowance. Because you got to realize at that time I was still an only child. So where my friends, they came from large families. So I always had the goodies. And I would pass out candy and cookies to my friends. And we'd be around here jumping rope. Now, mind you, I can only jump rope single. I could not Dutch or French. I couldn't do any of that because I was a tomboy. So I can only, and I had to stand in the middle and tell me to jump. But if you could play some basketball and football and all that stuff that the boys played, I could play that stuff. But when it came to the girls stuff, I was a mess. But the girls still let me hang out with them and play with them. And I think that's only because I had long hair. Yeah. Even though my skin was dark. I didn't really know about colorism then because I never experienced the fact that my skin was dark and I was being passed over. I didn't have those experiences. I do recall things when I went to high school, but I ain't care. In high school, it was just like, so what? Um, but in grammar school, I never recall someone treating me differently. So that's a blessing, right? But I say all that to say, I have friends. Could it be as I talk to y'all that I have friends because I had the good stuff? Because I had snacks. Shame, I always had snacks. Like when my kids came along, my girlfriend at the time, she always would, when we went out somewhere and I would have the kids, she's like, I know you got snacks. Because I always had snacks because I had kids. So as they call it, their mommy bag, but I always had snacks. And she was like, I know you got snacks. So I would always have enough snacks for her because I knew her greedy butt wanted some snacks too. Isn't that a shame? All right, I'm gonna have to get off of y'all. See, I started going on the tangent and thinking about my onset of my love for junk food. It's because I had access to money. You see, so I had money. I remember when I was younger, and my mom worked at Sears and Roebuck, so I was like fourth or fifth grade. She worked there a long time, but I'm just remembering having access to money, right? So I would get $10 a week for allowance. And I would go to her job and I would pick up my allowance. This was in the summertime because at school she would just give it to me when she got home from work. But my grandmother lived across the street. My grandmother and my aunts, they lived across the street from where my mother worked. And I would go and pick up my allowance, my $10 from my mom. Because back then, my mother, she worked for Sears and Roebuck. This was the beauty of employment back then. I believe like she cashed her check right at work. So she never had to go outside, like they have to go to check cashing places and stuff like that. Nope. Right there, they would give her a check. She can cash it right there, and she got the money. So she had my money. She never had to go say, "Oh, I got to go to the bank. Or I got to do." Right there on the spot, my mom had the money. So I would, and I'm gonna get off because I have to go live on Xavier's Treats. We're gonna be making apple pies and apple crisp. And if I can get to it, I'm gonna make some potato salad. You want to come start putting stuff on this counter for me? Yeah. So I'm gonna finish this story and then I'm gonna log off. She she would give me $10. It was this little lady. She was a little black lady. She had a little bitty spot because it was Sears and Roebuck, and then on the opposite side it was a A&P grocery store, and then it was a little spot. And right now, that little spot they make like turkey sand. I mean, they sell fried turkey legs and soup. Very popular little spot back in Newark, New Jersey. But anyway, she had a little spot there, and this was when California cheeseburgers had just came to be. Well, for us, we had never heard of California cheeseburgers. And every week I went to that lady's spot, and her California cheeseburgers would be humongous. Because, back in the day, a burger would be huge. She would put the cheese, the lettuce, and tomatoes. The bun was big. The burger was big. Honey, I was living a life. I would get that cow. And that lady made it just the way I like. I was a faithful customer to her. I would come every Friday. So I would buy my California cheeseburger from her. My friend Adrian, her father, this is how I met her. Her father owned a little corner store on Hunter Street. And I would go there and I would buy my grandmother a Pepsi soda. And I would get me some junk and I would um, go take the Pepsi to my grandmother, eat my sandwich there, then go back to Mr. Burns, because that's my girlfriend's last name is Burns. We used to call father back then, we used to call Mr. Burns. And go to his store. He had a pinball machine. And all the rest of my allowance would go in that pinball machine. So by the time my mother would get off at 6 o'clock, all my allowance was gone. Because I done put it in the pinball machine. So I ain't have no money until the next Friday. But guess what? I ain't even care. I see so much of me and my son Dylan. Just reckless. He don't care. Money, yeah. He just reminds me of me in so many ways when it comes to like allowance and money. He used to be better when he wanted stuff. He used to save that money. Now, since he working, anyway. So that is my little story I'm sharing in reference to, I'm having my epiphany today talking to you guys about where my love of junk food came from. So again, I am Felicia Don Harper. Thank you for coming over here to our channel. You can hit the like button. You can subscribe to our channel. You can hit the little bell for notifications when I go live. And I thank you. And you have a great and blessed day. Peace.